Hello children, good day. So, we are continuing with the portion, that is in geography chapter 3 itself, last one, non-conventional sources of energy. So, in the non-conventional source of, so we have seen that the overuse of the fossils, overuse of the firewood, that is a conventional sources, have resulted in the depletion of those resources. So, there is a need to find out another alternative sources, and these are the alternative sources, non-conventional sources. For example, non-conventional sources of energy are solar energy, wind, nuclear, biogas, geothermal and tidal. So, we can see the non-conventional source of energy one by one. First one is the solar energy. So, you have seen this solar panel like this. So many solar cells are there taken together into a solar panel, and solar energy, of course, the energy that we are receiving from the sun, and the solar energy is trapped in this solar cells in the solar panel, and there it is converted into solar power or electricity. So, solar energy trapped from the sun can be used in the solar cells in the solar panel in order to produce electricity, and the solar electricity can is having so many uses. For example, like it can be used in solar heaters, solar cookers, even in the traffic signals, etc. So, it is of immense use, and its very installation may cost is costly, but as it is very cheap as we use it. Okay. So, first non-conventional source of energy is solar energy. Second is wind energy. Wind is an inexhaustible source of energy. Throughout there will be wind, right. So, in energy, in order to make the wind energy, electricity from wind energy, we are making use of this windmills. You have noticed it, the windmill, when we go for the trip and all in Tamil Nadu, we have noticed this windmills. So, wind energy is an inexhaustible source, is there always. High speed wind rotates the windmill, and it is connected to a generator, and that generator produces electricity. Understood? So, when the wind blows, it turns the windmill, and this windmill, when it turns, it is connected to a generator, and that generator produces electricity. That is the next non-conventional form. Now, the third non-conventional form is nuclear power station, nuclear power. So, nuclear power is obtained from energy that is stored in the nuclei of the atom of naturally occurring radioactive elements, for example, like uranium and thorium, and these fuels, that is the uranium and thorium, will undergo the nuclear fission. It is a process, nuclear fission, in the nuclear reactors, and as a result it emits energy. And this nuclear fission or the nuclear stations are found in Rajasthan, Jharkhand. We can find uranium deposits, large amounts of uranium deposits, and in Kerala also we can see in monazite sands the deposits of thorium. Okay. So, nuclear power is obtained from the energy stored in the nuclei of the atoms, naturally occurring radioactive elements like uranium and thorium, and thorium is found in Kerala, and uranium, we can see a large quantity of uranium in Rajasthan and Jharkhand. Now, thorium is found in the monazite sands of Kerala. Now, there are which are the nuclear power stations in India? The important nuclear power stations in India, one is Kalpagam in Tamil Nadu, Tarapur in Maharashtra, Rana Pratap Sagar in Rajasthan, Narora in Uttar Pradesh, and Kaiga in Karnataka. These are the important nuclear power stations in India. An important nuclear power station in India: Kalpagam, Tarapur, Rana Pratap Sagar, Narora and Kaiga. Okay. Now, next important geothermal energy, non-conventional form is geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is the heat obtained from the earth, underneath the earth it is very hot is there, it is very, the heat increase immensely underneath the earth. At times this heat will come up in the form of hot springs, and these hot springs, the steams that is emitting from the hot springs are used to generate electricity, and such electricity is known as geothermal electricity, geothermal electricity. Now, geothermal plants in India, there are two important geothermal plants in India. One is in Himachal Pradesh and other one is Ladakh. In Himachal Pradesh it is in Manikaran and in Ladakh it is Puga Valley. So, Manikaran in Himachal Pradesh and Puga Valley in Ladakh are the two important geothermal plants in India. Now, next important non-conventional source of energy is tidal energy. Tidal energy. So, how the tidal energy is being harnessed? So, tidal energy as the term denotes, it is energy that is obtained from the tides. You know what a tide is, from the high tide, low tide, other. So, it is obtained from the energy from the tide. The tidal energy is harnessed by building dams. You can see the tidal energy is harnessed by building dams at the narrow openings of the sea. And during the high tide, the energy of the tide is used to turn the turbine. So, when the high tide occurs, water will passes through these harness dams, and what will happen? The blades of the turbine will rotate, and as a result it will produce electricity. And tidal mill, large tidal mills can be found in the Gulf of Kutch in India. Now, last non-conventional source of energy is biogas. You are very much familiarized with the biogas and organic wastages, and biogas is being obtained from the organic wastages of plants and animals, and it is used wide uses, especially in the case of cooking, lighting and all. Biogases have been used. Okay. Now, we have seen different types of non-conventional force: wind energy, solar energy, tidal energy, nuclear energy, biogas and also geothermal energy. All these energies have a wide range of advantages, at the same time many disadvantages. Now, we can see which all are the advantages and disadvantages of these energies. Now, in the case of wind energy, the advantages are, it is non-polluting. Wind energy is non-polluting, it is low cost when we compare with the other sources of energy, it is very safe, clean. Now, what about the disadvantage? Noise pollution. The windmill, when windmill works, there is noise and it results in noise pollution, and setting up of windmills is very costly, then disturbs radio and TV receptions, harmful to birds. Now, coming to the solar energy, advantages are, as in the case of wind also, it is solar energy is also inexhaustible, it is non-polluting, but installation cost is very high, diffuse source, so it get wastage also. Tidal energy advantages in the case is, it is inexhaustible, as in the case of solar energy and wind energy. Tidal energy is also inexhaustible and non-polluting, but it destroys wildlife habitats. At the same time, it is very difficult to harness. Okay. Now, coming to the nuclear energy, advantages are, it emits a lot of energy. We get a lot of energy from nuclear energy, but at the same time it generates radioactive waste. This is the most disadvantage in the case of nuclear energy. It generates radioactive waste and it is very expensive to install. Now, coming to the biogas, advantage is low cost, easy to operate and makes use of bio waste, but it causes greenhouse effect. Now, coming to the next one, geothermal. The advantages are, it is very eco-friendly and it is available always, but disadvantage is that it is located far from cities and cost of transportation is very high. So, this is all about non-conventional source of energy and its disadvantages and advantages. By this, we completed the topic number 3, that is mineral and power resources. Please read the lesson at least 3 times and learn the concepts. Okay? Thank you, children.